Good evening. My name is Rod Malloy, the curator and a great partner with the team you're going to meet soon. A quick quote from one of the prospects that we interviewed at the Arden Fair Mall yesterday, an inspirational quote to start. Hopefully you get a chance to read that. We're going to get right into the presentation here. We have identified a problem. I'm going to tell you a story that will sort of paint the picture of that problem as you read this slide. I have a friend named Mary. She worked for 50 years at the California DMV, and right before she retired, her husband died unexpectedly. And unfortunately, at that time, her children still live on the East Coast. So she found herself alone after working really hard and working for us as a state employee at the DMV. She loves to put together puzzles, and she loves to go for walks, and especially Kaiser-sponsored walks. I've done that with her. I've gone on a Kaiser-sponsored walk. The problem is that most days she is alone. She's isolated, and often that isolation leads to disconnections and even, in her case, depression. And she does have an urge to give back to the community. So what we have with that problem, we're creating a solution, this safe and happy social network for seniors. Solutions to engage local citizens and connecting them to different generations. And a quote from Mary, what she told me was, if there was a young person that would come and put together a puzzle with me, that would brighten up my day. If I found a new friend who would go for a walk with me, that would really be the big event of my week or even this part of my life. So it's a really, really powerful thing for me personally. So this is how the Zinder ecosystem will work. Some of you who are familiar with Tinder recognize what will be the driving engine behind Zinder. So Mary S. is a Sacramento resident. She's tagged because of her zip code, and the analytics that we put together will match her with other avid walkers that would be in her zip code or nearby, or also people who like to put together puzzles. So when she meets those friends, thanks to our super team and our supercomputers and our algorithm, those people will together go out and serve the community, because Zinder will actually pair them up with volunteer activities in the community and even eco-friendly company startups. So there's connections and events that they're going to be involved in going to together. So the Zinder proposition, the key question that I would have as a judge if I was in your seat, who is your customer? So the first customer that we've targeted and identified are senior living facilities. And we have a couple people doing yoga here in tribute to our yoga friend in the audience who we like. And what we will sell to the senior living facility is an app that is a plug-in to our social network Zinder software. So whoops, I hit the wrong button. So we had one of our field test people tell us, if you install tablets at senior living facilities, the people who don't have a smartphone will be able to use the tablet for updates on different activities in their facility and also in the local community. So that's why the tablet is on here, that we would help set that up on the tablets at a senior living facility. But also for those residents like Mary who do have a smartphone, we would be able to push those calendar invitations and even send a text reminder to her, to reminder of the Mahjong class or the puzzle gathering. So what's great about this cycle is once somebody signs up here and the senior living facility connects to them, they automatically would have an account on the social media or the social network platform that is Zinder and the hub. So our market. In Sacramento, we know that there are 200,000 older adults, 45 and up, that live in communities, some type of community or rental communities. And in California, that number is almost 5 million. So to us, that's a huge market and a great potential for a social network and the new correct time of social network. So one of our first people to sign up is one of our team members, an entrepreneur and brewer. His business is right over there, the Home Brewer Lab. Judges, you probably will be invited to participate in that later. So our Zinder DNA is sustainable. So we do that by the users of Zinder. They will be fed opportunities to volunteer in the community. and to meet friends who have similar passions, but also to come to an educational workshop about brewing and your home, those kind of activities. So we love that Trong is on our team. And what's really cool about Trong is that the local economy benefits. I would like to invite up the team to join me, which is right there, and our website. So judges, do you have questions for us for Zinder?
I guess we don't have the time to cover the financials, so why don't we start there?
So first of all, from senior living people, we tend to have a contract with them and also maintain, so they subscribe to us, and it's going to be like a yearly contract. Then we get to maintain the app for them. Then we also have a revenue stream from adverts for other people, and also
yeah, well, we get revenue from service providers to senior citizens of the facilities, and by creating events and selling tickets for the events.
And we have a much longer term goal. Once the platform has grown to a sufficient size so we can attract the big players, the health insurances, they would be one of our main customer, in that we will actually offer them a healthier aging population and a reduced risk portfolio through the insurance. We know that that's a difficult one. It's a difficult sale to make initially, but we're confident we can achieve that eventually, and we want to tie the health insurance in right from the beginning.
So to answer your question, the first 6 months would be a $30,000 investment by us as the leaders to launch the pilot for a local senior living facility, and have the structure for the growth for year 2. When year 2 we have a $300,000 revenue and expense budget, and then in year 3 we would plan to roll out what Johannes is talking about, which would be the full-fledged social network. So we know that social network apps take 3, 4, or 5 years to develop.
If you could, I'd love to hear more about the sustainability component, because it kind of came at the end and there is that element there, but if you could go into more depth about it, it'd be great.
Yes, senior citizen as a group is a large population who's totally not very much aware of the sustainability issue. We hope to use Zinder as an app to educate and to promote the concept of sustainability with these folks. We also want Zinder to provide mental health improvement opportunities, reduce isolation, so those people will be happier and live longer. And in our Zinder also promote opportunities for local communities, local suppliers, would provide businesses for our senior citizens population.
And we do plan to partner and promote eco-friendly businesses like Trong's, because his is an eco-friendly business, a home brewing business. So we will intentionally find those and partner with places like Atrium 916 to highlight their events.
So it seems to me that there are obviously already existing social network infrastructures available. And the features that you're providing seem like they could be provided over the top of that infrastructure. Is there a reason why you feel it's necessary to build an entirely separate social network in order to provide those features?
We do feel quite strongly about this actually, and we feel that the existing networks, and we named Facebook as that example, have done the exact opposite. They have destroyed communities. They have been very counterproductive in driving local businesses, and it's a very, very different business model. They don't promote local business, for example. This is not really part of their deal. They are selling data. That's their main core business model. That's not going to change very quickly. And I think it's important when you design a new platform to really design it from the ground up around the sustainability angle, because it's not something you can just quickly change. Everyone knows what Facebook's business model is, and that's not going to change very quickly. And that's why it's not just simply an add-on to an existing model. It has to be from the ground up around the ideas we're trying to promote here today.
How are you going to find volunteers?
Look around. Who's a volunteer?
I think we have local partners that are churches and non-profit organization who want volunteers, and they're gonna put up events on our app, and then that's how we find volunteers for those events.
Real quickly, there may be liability issues associated with fraud associated with seniors engaging, especially those who are isolated and want to be reached out to. So have you thought about that?
Thank you.